Okay, good morning. Good morning, Sparkling Plexus Jewels team. We are here this morning. Amber and I wanted to call a little Zoom emergency meeting sort of thing because we've been brainstorming and we have a little surprise for you that we want to announce. Yeah. Before I get started, I'm going to just open us up in prayer. Heavenly Father, just thank you so much for and thank you for each one of these ladies on the Sparkling Plexus Jewels team. Thank you for each one of their lives and being to join Plexus. And Lord, I just pray that you would bless each of them and you would just send people their way that need Plexus and give them the words to say. And I know that they're out and being bold. And so, Lord, I just pray that you would bless that and just harvest the seeds that they've planted. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Okay. So I don't know what happened to our screen. There it is. Now we can see everybody. And we see Marie, too.
Hello.
Okay. So, Amber, why don't you start us off and just kind of say why we decided to do this meeting.
So my big thing is that I know that every one of us girls are trying so hard to build our business, me included, really trying, and we're reaching out to a lot of people. And I don't know, I'm just trying to think of ways. And if you guys have input too, we just really want our team in Arizona to grow. Sadie's team is taking off and they're just in a small little town. And so I just want to do a separate little incentive contest for Arizona because I know you girls are trying, you're working your businesses, and we just thought, we would get on. Rebecca's going to share some of the things that she personally says to people when getting people to sign up, because she's obviously been around for actually adding people to her team. So she's going to share that, and then we'll just kind of share a little surprise we have for you girls.
Yeah, because we want to be here to support you guys and encourage you guys. And I know that you're working hard. I mean, oh my gosh, I've been so impressed with you guys, how you're reaching out and you're doing your lists of 100, 200, how many ever hundreds of people. You're faithful at working your businesses every day. And so I just, I want to try to brainstorm with you guys and figure out maybe what's, causing the holdback, or what's, what are people holding back on? And maybe, and I know you guys are so awesome about watching videos and training videos, and you guys, it's I feel like you probably know what to say. It's not like I have to sit here and tell you what to say, but I kind of just, made a little list of things that are just kind of key phrases that I say when I'm talking to people. And I'm just going to kind of ramble them out, and you guys can make notes if maybe there's something new that maybe you haven't been saying to people when you're talking to them. So I'm just going to throw it out there. So some of the keywords that I use when I'm talking about Plexus are measurable results, inflammation, blood sugar, and gut health. I also throw in there blood pressure, because we have lots of people taking Plexus that have had amazing results on their blood pressure. Now, you can't throw that out and say that it cures or whatever, on Facebook. You're not going to want to say diabetes and blood pressure, those kind of diseases, because compliance is not going to like that. But when I'm talking to a person, I'm like, my husband's blood pressure is normal, and you guys can use my story. Use somebody's story. You can say, yeah, I know somebody on my team that their cholesterol is so much better, their blood pressure is so much better. I think those are really key phrases when you're talking about people, because so many people in our country have health issues. So when someone asks me, what is Plexus? I'm like, well, it's a health and wellness company, and it does amazing things for gut health, inflammation, blood sugar, even blood pressure, migraines. I just throw out several main issues. I throw out those issues. And more times than not, someone will say to me, oh, well, my husband has that, or, oh, my sister has that. And so that kind of reels them in to listen to, oh, wow, that's a serious thing. Maybe I should listen about this thing. I've learned not to lead off with my whole weight loss story. I've learned to just lead off with the health issues when I'm talking to people. You can tell people, people give you the open door all the time, and I know you guys do this, but, if they give you the open door, start talking about what Plexus has done for you and people that you know. And then too, like you could talk about, I think sometimes I know in the beginning I was more all about the products and, well, if I can get them to do the products, then maybe I can get them to do the business. But I'm more and more leading on the business because there's so many people that need the business. They need that extra income. And so, use that phrase. What if, what would it do for your family if you could earn $500 extra a month? I know several people on my team that are earning that or close to that or over that. It can be whatever you want it to be. But Plexus has an amazing compensation plan. Other keywords are, and share, say my friend Amber is, making enough to pay her house payment twice or whatever example you want to use. I'm making enough to pay my car payment. I would make it real personal. When Amber and I did a sip and see at Jacqueline's, one of the things that Karina, her sister, said is, I really appreciated the fact that you guys were just honest about how much money you're making because that puts some validity on it. I don't think we need to be shy about that. Let's see. So other key phrases are wholesale prices, it's cheaper, it's like a Costco membership. I just tell people, like when I'm talking to people and they're trying to decide between being a customer and an ambassador, it's so funny. Like my PV is really down because I'm having new customers because I talk so much about the business now. So like I just tell them it's cheaper, it's really the best deal. If they tell me their husband's going to do it, I'm like, oh no, you definitely want to join. It's silly not to because you're going to get commission back. And even too, like when I start talking about the triplex, and I start saying, okay, well, if you order preferred the triplex, you're going to end up with too much BioCleanse, right? We all know this. And I tell them, I'm like, you can alternate, you can change it out, you can do the X Factor instead one month and the ProBio the other month. Or really, if you just want to join, it's easier because then you're not getting the auto ship, so you don't end up with a big supply of the BioCleanse and stuff that you don't need. You just go in and order what you want so the auto ship doesn't go. That's how my girl joined the other night, Denise. She was all ready to just shop and be a customer. And when I said the words, well, then you don't have to worry about that auto ship and getting more stuff than you need. And she's like, oh, just sign me up to join. I was like, oh, good. Okay. Yeah. So, sometimes you're not even meaning to talk them into joining, but just by being real with them and showing them really, no, really, this is the better deal, then sometimes you can get them to go ahead and join. I tell people, that I am not a salesperson. I didn't sign up to do this to be a salesperson. And I say these words, and it's actually been working really well lately. I say, I know I sound like a salesperson to you, but it's only because I'm so passionate about the products and how they've changed Kevin and I's life and the lives of so many people that I know personally. And I think that resonates with people too when you just say, I'm not a salesperson. I know I sound like it, because we do kind of sound like it now. But there's nothing wrong with that when it's fueled by passion and they can hear that passion in your voice. Other keywords, I can't help but share it. I hope this doesn't offend you. I've just had you on my mind. I can't stop thinking about maybe you would be a good fit for this business. Or I can't stop thinking about the fact that you have diabetes. Maybe it could help your health. Just really, do it as, let people see your heart. Let people see that you're really thinking about them. And then that whole key phrase, and I know we heard Kimber say it last week, but what's holding you back? I think that's a really good one to message people. What exactly is holding you back? How could I make this work for you? Let's see. Another one too, when people say they don't have any money or they can't afford it, is I ask them, like, how would you feel about sharing it? Like, how would you feel about sharing your journey? And a lot of times people say, yeah, I'd be okay with that. Or no, I wouldn't, But if they're okay with that, then you can explain to them how by sharing it, you can get your products cheaper because people will be asking you about it. And I think sending it as a blessing, you know, that this has just been a blessing in my life, for health and finances. When you're following up with someone, you know, say, you know, did you have a chance to look at the information I sent you? You know, what time is a good time to talk? What time can I call you? Instead of just being like, well, when can I call you, or trying to call them, like get them to schedule a time. And kind of my routine with people on following up is I will message them on Facebook, and then I'll text them on their phone, and be sure to get their phone number. That's huge. And then I'll send like a voice message on Facebook. And then I might offer to meet them in person. And then if all those things haven't worked yet, then I throw out a special, you know, $20 off or a free product or whatever. And it doesn't have to be out there for everyone. I'll just do that with an individual if I really think that might be what does it for them, because then it's worth it. Okay, so those are just some of my key phrases. When I'm talking to people, I like the line, and Sonia Dudley is the one that I heard this from, was, you know, when you say, like, if somebody asks you what you do, or what could, you know, do you work from home, or you stay at home mom, what do you know, say, no, I do health and wellness with Plexus. And if they don't, they're like, well, what's Plexus? Then act surprised they haven't heard of it. You know, be like, oh, really? You haven't heard of it? So those are just some key little phrases I use. I think another thing that might help you guys that we haven't done a whole lot of is the 3-way calls with prospects. I'm totally open to do that for you guys, and I know Amber is too. It sounds scary, it sounds salesy, it sounds you know, high pressure, but I think if you preface it with, hey, and especially if it's someone you've been talking to for a while and they're just resisting, then just say, hey, you know, would you want to talk with my upline? You know, because she's been doing this a year. It could be Amber or me. She's been doing it a year, and she's been successful with it. And, you know, she would love to share with you if you want to hear what she has to say. And it's not high pressure at all. She's not like that. She's not going to pressure you, or, you know. And some people will jump on board with that, and some people will be scared to heck and run for the hills. And that's okay. Some people will be so like, I don't want to do that. Okay, fine, I'll just sign up. You know, so even throwing that out might work to your benefit of, they won't do a 3-way call, but they'll go ahead and join already if it's somebody you've been working with a long time. But I'm totally available to do that if you guys want to. So I don't know if you guys have specific questions, because I want to be here to troubleshoot specific issues and questions for you guys too.
Do any of you have questions or people you've been working with that you need like some more feedback on how to talk to them? Do any of you have those?
I have everything. I don't think I have just like one issue. I think every single person is just different. You know, one person, another, you know, somebody's like, I'm going to try out another thing. And then if it doesn't work out, I'll try Plexus. And a lot of times I'm not familiar with what it is that they're trying out, or they're on some sort of medication and they want to make sure that it's okay. And I send them the ingredient list and everything. And then they're just not following through on their end to get it approved by their doctor. So that takes long. There's like, I have so many different situations, so I don't have just like one that reoccurring. I guess, so there's no, like, the only thing would be like in the 3-way calls, like a lot of people don't know what upline is. So how do you, like, for a person that has never done network marketing, does not understand that lingo, like, what would you say to them?
That's a really good point, Nancy. You're right. It's a great point. I think I would just say then, hey, I have this friend, Rebecca. She lives over in Peoria, and she's been doing Plexus for a year, and she's had amazing results with her and her husband's health. you know, and weight loss. I mean, depending on who you're talking to, maybe you throw in the weight loss thing if that's their desire, you know, but I have both health and health and whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. So like, just say my friend Rebecca or my friend Amber. I think that's a really great idea, actually. I think the word upline is what scares them to the hills, probably, you know, then it sounds network marketing and high pressure salesy kind of thing. Whereas if you just say friend, I think that's a great idea. What do you guys think? I think friend sounds better.
Friend.
Yeah. So just like my friend is looking, my friend's had a lot of success with X, Y, and Z. I think it'd be great for you to talk to them just to hear another person's point of view.
Yeah, and say like, I mean, if it's a stay-at-home mom, say, you know what, you should talk to my friend Rebecca. I'll talk, you know, like we can maybe do a 3-way call and we can all get on the call together because she's had great success with weight loss and health. Her husband's health has had an amazing change on the products, and she's been able to like earn an income. So now she doesn't have to go back to work full time, which is what she was looking at doing. So I think you would really relate with her because I know you want to keep staying home with your kids too, whatever the scenario, you know. That way you're kind of working in both the products and the business. I think that might, you know, and I mean, I have, I sat in on Chris McCall did a call actually for my uncle who has done like every MLM in the world and he still hasn't joined. He's taken his sweet time even after talking to Chris. So like, if they don't do it after they talk to me, I'm not one bit bothered by that. You know what I mean? Like, but the seed has been planted and maybe it will help. Maybe it will be the thing that can help push them over. I mean, I would love nothing more than to help you guys. So I don't know. I'm just trying to think outside the box because I know you guys have done everything else. I mean, I know that list I wrote off, like you guys are saying all that, most of that probably. And I know you're reaching out and I know you're doing the 531 and you're doing all these systems trying to figure out just the right thing and you're working your butts off. I know you are. So I'm just like, you know what, that's something we haven't really tried is the 3-way call with prospects. I've done some 3-way calls with new ambassadors, but I haven't done many with the prospects. And I know like a lot of the diamonds on other teams, that's how they've got to be diamonds. They're big on that 3-way call with the prospects. So I think it's worth trying at least.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. I have not done that, and I think maybe that's been missing for those people who have said, yes, I want to do it, and they just haven't.
Yeah.
I just, after a while, I mean, I have messaged them and followed up with them, and that hasn't made the difference, so it's worth.
I'm not saying I'm anything magical, because Nancy, I have my same list of people that I am following up with and trying to like message them the whole 8, 9, 10 times, and they're still not on board yet, so it's not like I'm saying that's the answer at all, but it can help, you know, like maybe I need to get Christine on the phone for mine. I don't know, but I just think that would be something that is worth that shot.
Well, and I do think that it always helps to have another person. You know, sometimes somebody else can say the same thing in a different way, and people will respond to it. So I think that will be helpful for us.
And when Chris did it with my uncle, he told me, he's like, okay, when we do this 3-way call, you're going to introduce me and, you know, say what you want about me, and then you're just going to kind of turn it over to me and let me do the talking, and you're going to kind of be like a silent witness. You're not going to really say a whole lot. And at first I was like, oh, but I might want to say something, you know, like, but I just sat and just listened and interjected if they asked me a question or got me involved a little bit. But for the most part, I let Chris do most all of the talking. And then Chris was like, okay, well, now I have to go. So I'm going to turn it over to Rebecca and you guys can talk, you know. And so then after he got off the phone, then I could still talk to him and say what I wanted to say and follow up on, you know, things. But I thought that was a really good suggestion, because if you're both trying to talk at the same time, you're both trying to put in, I mean, they've already heard what you have to say, so it's good to let the next person tell them, just to give them, like Amber said, a different perspective, or maybe think of some things that you hadn't thought of to tell them. And then, you know, then you're going to talk to them afterwards, of course, to, you know, hopefully get them to join.
Yeah, because I have people who have said, like, they want to join.
Mm-hmm.
like already
I saw someone on your page, yeah. She's like,
they've already seen the value, they've said yes, and then it's that next step to actually ordering, you know, and getting online and doing it.
yeah.
I can't force them, like, you know, and then I feel like how often is too often to reach out, you know, without bugging them.
And have you asked them what's holding them back, Nancy? You're pretty forward, but have you asked them that?
Yeah. Some people say, like, I have a few questions, like, what, you know, everyone's different. Like, people will say, I still want to talk to you. And then I'm like, all right, so when do you want to set that up? And then I never hear back from them. You know, or they'll say, or they won't answer me. You know, there's like one of the girls that's like, yeah, I'm going to order, you know, Christine. And she never, and I asked her what's holding her back. She said, oh, I'm waiting to get paid at this date. And then she got paid. And then I reached out and it's crickets.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like, that's kind of where I'm at with it. So I'm just going to keep looking for new people and then come back to them. But I think I'll see if, I'm going to come back to them following up with a 3-way call and suggesting that. And maybe that will make a difference, you know?
I pray it does.
I haven't done that. I've just followed up with them to see where they're at, asked them what's holding them back. But I haven't suggested the 3-way call.
That's a good
Now,
one.
I'm asking all of you, not just Nancy, like when you're following up, are you mostly doing it through text or messaging, or are you like calling them on the phone or leaving a voice message?
I'm doing messaging. The 2 or 3 people that I'm thinking of right now, I don't have their phone number. Like one of them was a stranger from a garage sale. Oh, actually I have texted her. I think I've done all of them. One friend doesn't have Facebook, so it's just been through regular text and phone calls. So I think I'm everywhere with that.
What about the rest of you? Are you guys mostly messaging, or are you calling on the phone, or are you trying to talk in person, or?
I've just been messaging.
Yeah,
I'm
messaging.
And what about you, Marie?
Mostly messaging. I do have one friend that I'm talking and texting with that I see in person. And she's going through some personal stuff right now, so she wants to get her doctor's clearance, but I've already heard that once or twice. So she's like, when I see my doctor again next week, and I mean, it's just like one excuse after the other. And then I had a customer too that was really excited to, she ordered the Slim and Accelerator, I think in December, and she tried it for a month, and I followed up with her like while she was doing it, and then she was like, I want to talk to you before she ordered it. She hasn't reordered. And so I called her like a couple times, and I left her a message and was like, you know, no pressure, just wanted to see what you were thinking, and I just never heard back. So it's like the same thing with Nancy. It's like crickets. So that's where I'm at. I'm like, I'm just going to talk to new people and try new things. And when they're ready, hopefully they'll.
And Marie's sister too. I actually personally reached out to her because I'm friends with her for Marie. I talked to her yesterday. She tells me that every day she's considering it. So it's not like, I don't know what else she needs to. I don't know what she's considering.
Yeah, I mean, people are funny, you know, and I think it's good that you're doing the sip and sees, you know, so you're giving them the opportunity. And we're going to try to do an opportunity meeting at the end of this month. So maybe hopefully you can get them to the event or the sip and sees. You know, I just, you know, it is a constant, you know, reaching out thing. I mean, some people will just drag it on forever. There's a girl at the grocery store who her kid went to the same school as Lauren, went to Basis for a while. And she works nights at the grocery store, you know, and I met with her and her friend. Amber probably remembers this story. Like, I don't even know how many months ago, like 7 months ago at least. And she was all ready to sign up, her and her friend. I mean, they were going to do it, but she didn't know the passcode or whatever for her Wi-Fi, and I didn't know how to do a hotspot with my phone. And so I okay, well, we'll do it later. Still hasn't happened. And every time I go to the grocery store, she'd comment on, oh, I need to do it. And then it was, oh no, I have a gallbladder stone, so I've got to have surgery first. So I can't do it till I have surgery. I mean, there's always these excuses. You're right. And I got to get my doctors okay. I saw her 2 nights ago in the grocery store, and she said to me, okay, I'm really ready to do it now. I really am. But I'm still waiting on her to text me back when, what day, so I mean, it is a back and forth, and it does take patience. But what I will tell you is, while you're waiting on those ones, just be really, reaching out to the other ones, and be trying to work on the new people. And the reason I asked you if you're texting or if you're calling or if you're doing voice messaging is because I think that is really key. Like Susie McCall has the little quote, they can hear the passion in your voice, the passion in the sound. And it's true. I mean, we can hide behind our computer screen, and we can message and text and email. We can do all these things through the computer, but I think that they need to hear the sound of our voice, that that the passion is in our voice. I would encourage you guys to be calling or using the voice message system. I think you'll get more. And that whole line of, I hope I'm not offending you. I hope I'm not bugging you. I hope you don't think I'm pushy. Say that on that voice message, because that triggers in people's heart that, oh, okay, I'll call her back because I want her to know I'm not mad at her. And then at least you can have a conversation.
I say the follow-ups are key. Like any diamond or anybody, high in the company will tell you that follow-ups are key. So we can't be nervous to be following up with people, but let's not wait around for them. We have to reach out to new people, which, I think that's key too, to reach out to new people. I'm having a potential that I've been working. He actually was a customer for a little bit. Said, no, I don't want to do the products or whatever. And this is since I started a year ago. I know she will be amazing at her business. And I've just been talking to her. And then yesterday she texted me that she's interested in the business and she is going to sign up. So it's just a continual follow-up. But I think at the same time, we can't wait on those people. We have to reach out to new people every single day. Sorry.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, like this Uncle Bryce of mine, who lives in Texas. I have been messaging him since July, and I'm not giving up. I'm still messaging him periodically. So, and who knows, maybe I don't know, but I'm going to keep messaging him until he tells me, no, heck no. Like Celeste says, until they slam the door in your face, keep bringing it up. They're watching you. That's the thing. If they're on Facebook with you, they're watching your journey. And, one thing that I actually told Sadie this morning, Sadie needs any help, I know. But I said, post about the business more. Post about the people getting their Lexuses. Post about, I know people personally that are getting the car. I don't know. I mean, that's something that's going to get their attention for the business part for sure. I think, Christine's going to post later. We did a Perfectly Plexus Dream Team panel of all the gems in Perfectly Plexus. And one of the questions she asked on there was about, I'm losing my train of thought now. What was her question? I don't know. Shoot. Well, you'll watch the video later and you'll see what I was going to say. What were we talking about? I've completely lost it. And now we're recording. This is great. Rebecca's lost her mind on video.
She did say, Christine said it was going to be really good. I'm excited for her to post it today.
Yeah, it is super good. What was I talking about, Amber? I can't remember.
You're going with your point. I don't know.
Oh, I know, the business. So several of them on there said, and I did too, but especially some of the other ones said, I wish I would have really led with the business. Like at the beginning, I was all about the products, you know, and how the products were so great. And I thought if I could get them on the products, then they'd do the business. And they had all said, you know, they wished, a lot of them said they wish they would have really led with the business opportunity. So I think that's one thing for me too. In the beginning, I think I was more shy about the business, and I was like, well, let me do the products, then do the business. But this is a huge opportunity for all of us, and you know, we should be bold.
Like, it was always even afraid to offer ambassador, because then I thought, oh, they're just gonna think I want them to do the business.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like over time, my confidence in the business has grown, and I believe in our products. I think they're absolutely amazing, but the compensation plan is like out of the world amazing. So I feel if I could tell you guys to do anything different from like where I would stand for, I would just say don't be shy to share the compensation plan. Because even my friend yesterday, when I was telling her what I'm making, because she's been watching me for a year, she was like blown away. And I haven't really, you know, I hadn't expressed it because I felt like a shutdown whole year. You know, I've been putting it out there, but I never in my dreams thought she would be interested in actually working. I thought she would be amazing with the products. So I would, share the business side of it, because it's really amazing. We have an awesome opportunity.
I think what holds me back, and it wasn't until like this month, this last paycheck was like really big, and so was November. But other than that, like they haven't been that huge. So I felt like I didn't have quite like a big testimony on like, yeah, you know, I'm able to pay all these bills, and some people would ask me, you know, like, how much weight have you lost? You know, how much money are you making? And it's like, I don't have a humongous testimony about that. I can talk about other people. And I think I'm starting to learn like to be confident and just say like, you know, there might be 1% that doesn't have that drastic weight loss, you know, and I have been that 1% that hasn't had that humongous weight loss, but I've had a lot of other health benefits. And I know enough people who have had the huge weight loss that I feel confident in sharing about it. But I think it took me a long time to get to this point where I'm at now, because before it was like I was shut down. You know, if somebody asked me about that, I was shut down. I feel like I'm not going to share with them, even if I think they're going to ask me about that, because it's like, for me, I was always the type of person, like, if you're going to tell me something's working, it better be working for you. You know, if you're going to say that you're going to be making a lot of money, I want to see you making a lot of money first. And so, I know not everybody's like that, but I was. And so I know, you know, I feel more confident now, but I can see people who are starting out still kind of not feeling that confident about sharing the business or sharing even the benefits of health, because they're still so new, and those questions do come up sometimes.
I see a lot of.
I think that's where like the three-way calls come in, because then you can actually personally say, you know, like, I'm not there yet, but this is my friend that is, and you know what I mean? It's doable for everybody.
And here's the thing too, like, I will tell you, Nancy, is that I can totally see that. Like in the beginning, it was like they'd ask you about weight loss, and then it would just like crush you because you're like, I want the weight loss. So then it's like, okay, I don't want to talk anymore. You know, like it would kind of be discouraging probably. So like, what's so cool is that you're right. I mean, for the masses, it does work for weight loss. You can tell people the stories and the testimonies, and I still am not giving up. I think it is going to work for you. You know, like it just hasn't done it yet, but I'm not giving up on that. However, you know, the other really encouraging thing to me as I see is there are diamond ambassadors all over that. Some of them are still struggling with their weight, and they're diamond ambassadors, you know, like, so it doesn't.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm going to be a chubby diamond.
We don't know. Maybe not. But you're a beautiful diamond either way. So, you know, in the grand scheme of things, you are beautiful no matter what. And, but I don't know. I mean, when I see that though, I get encouraged, and I think, you know, like they did that survey for Super Saturday, and it said, you know, give tips of what you thought or what. And I put on there that I didn't like our product video because it didn't have men, and we need men in the product video. B, it had model stick thin ladies that they need to have some real people on that video. They don't need to all look like fashion models on a runway, because that's not the face of Plexus. They're not all minis. And so, so you bring up a really good point that, but you can't let that, for all of you guys, you can't let that squash your passion. I think because there's people doing it all different walks of life, all different faces of Plexus. And so, and even if, I think people do identify with, even if you're making $300 a month or $500 a month, they're like, okay, that could pay for my kids' sports, or that could pay for my car payment, or, those are huge things with people, because so many people are living paycheck to paycheck and barely making it. So when you throw out, when you're a silver ambassador, like you're just the very first entry level of our company, you can be making some pretty good money every month. That is definitely something to share.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, thank you.
I was just going to ask you that just last night, my husband and I were talking and saying, like, I was struggling with not losing a bunch of weight with Plexus. I was thinking that I wanted to lose like another 10 pounds, but I've finally gotten to the point where I'm feeling like healthy on the inside, and that even if I'm not skinny like what our society portrays, that I'm healthy and I don't have to be like, like you were saying, looking like a stick thin or whatever person, and I have curves and most people will, but I'm just saying, like, it's about the health too, and like what you were saying, Nancy, you've noticed a lot of other health side benefits or effects, and I think that's what's really important, and I think people will relate to that too, and not just like losing weight. So.
I think people, in the end, they know that nothing's a quick fix, so they're not. Once in a while, somebody will order from you as a customer and want to lose 30 pounds in 30 days, and it doesn't happen, so they quit. But in the end, I think our the other way, where people are realizing that health is important, and it isn't as important to be skinny. So I think just like really share your other victories and be passionate about your other Plexus victories with people, because there are, like Nancy, you have like had anxiety. A lot of moms have anxiety, maybe not as severe as yours was, but they have it, or no energy. So I encourage you to be passionate about the victories you have had.
Yeah. And I think in the beginning, because it sounds like Plexus Slim, like it's about weight loss. And so I think I had many people asking me about it because they specifically wanted to lose weight. And so now that was kind of in the beginning. And for myself too, I really did join because I wanted weight loss. And then, and the other stuff was, I like to, what it could do for me in my gut health and everything. That sounded great, but I wanted weight loss, and so I can relate to how people come with that. And for some, and I've had a lot of people who have had success with it. So I feel, like I said, more confident about it now. Just usually that's kind of what gets people really interested, because we do have an obesity epidemic, and so people are really suffering. They don't get that it's not about the weight, though, that's causing their issues. And that's, I guess, why we're here to educate them.
Yeah, and it's interesting. If you look at all of us on here, we all kind of have a different platform. Like Jacqueline obviously does not need to lose a pound, but
Marie.
but Marie either. But like, that's the neat thing. Like, you can focus, like for Amber, it's all about health. That's her focus. Now, does she only post about health? No, she throws in some weight loss things and some, other things, anxiety. It's been her also, so like you're going to talk about what has impacted you or what's helped you. But that's the great thing about Plexus, is that you don't have to be a certain thing, a certain stereotype to be able to sell Plexus. You can be, not have to lose a pound and still be very successful at it. Look at Susie McCall, you know, like, so, I think that's the thing that's so important too on our pages. And I know you guys all do a really good job of it, is posting about different things and really educating your audience and educating them even when we're talking about all the different things that it does. The last tip I'll give you guys is just try to be really social. Try to really expand your net of people that you come in contact with and that you know. And befriending people on Facebook. Look for, you know, groups and pages like, you know, I've done it like the school Facebook page, you know, like I go on there and friend moms that have mutual friends and stuff. They've gained customers and ambassadors that way. And then too, like with your kids, you know, if they're in a sport, get to know those other moms, you know, friend them on Facebook. Sometimes they'll even, like in little dance clubs or sports, they'll have a Facebook page for that. So go on there, be on that page, you know, friend those people so they see your posts. Join a different gym, join a different Bible study, a mom's group. And then too, just invite people over for dinner, or, you know, invite some girls over for whatever, dessert. And don't even talk about Plexus. I mean, just build the relationship. And you'll be surprised. They'll start asking you, you know, because they'll have seen your Facebook post or whatever. So just always try to keep that in mind too, just to be broadening your net, your circle of friends.
We probably should wrap it up.
Yeah, we won't keep you here all day. We could talk all day. But so, all right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Oh yeah. But quick, so we have the Arizona, so it's kind of like just for the Arizona team, we wanted to do just like a special incentive for you girls. It's not a drawing, so everybody can earn this. But so I think we all have at least 3 people on the fence. So if you got whoever adds 3 people by Friday, Rebecca and I will guys gift certificates to nail salons. So it's not a drawing, so each of you have the opportunity to win it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just looking at my calendar. Today is Wednesday. Amber doesn't know I'm going to say this, but I think we should give them till Sunday night.
Okay, let's do it.
Till Sunday night. That way it's. I mean, not that I don't think you could do it. I think maybe some of you can do this, get 3 by Friday, but I think we need to give you a little more time. Let's give you the weekend too, but start working on it tonight. Really follow up and reach out. And if you want to do a 3-way with me and or Amber, let's do it. Schedule it with me. Just get on my calendar, and we want to help you guys succeed. So yeah, 3 nail salon gift certificates. Woohoo!
So you want us to add, this is for adding ambassadors. Does it have to be with a welcome pack and all of that?
Yeah.
Because I have customers who order like 2 Plexus Slims, and then they're thinking of switching just to save themselves money, but they're not going to get the welcome pack because they don't want the other stuff. They just 2 Plexus
It
Slims.
has to at least have their AQ on. That's my big thing.
Okay.
Is their backup order, right, Rebecca? Or what do you think?
Yeah.
Because they're gonna have the 100 that gives points for Nancy. She'll get her 5 points.
I mean, that's what they already asked to do. So I'm just asking if that would qualify or if it's about with the welcome pack.
Well, I think, so you're saying if they just join for the $34.95 and then they decide to order, what are they ordering instead of the welcome pack? 2 Slims, like 2 bags of Slim? Is that what they're
One for them and one for their husband. That's like, they're my customers and they always order that. They always have 2 bags of Plexus Slim and that's it.
Is that because they only do the Slim, they're not doing the triplex?
No.
Okay. So I mean, you can do it that way. Like, I think as long as you have the backup order on, that way you get the points. But I mean, you want to be stressing to them the triplex, you know, not just the slim, because they're not going to be as effective. They're not going to probably have as good results if they're only doing slim.
They're already pretty fit and like really healthy. So I think they don't see like the value, and they don't want to spend more money because they're already spending, you know, close to over $100 every month.
Mm-hmm.
So they're happy with it. They've been like doing it for like 4 months.
Well, that's,
And they plan on still doing it. But I have talked to them about the triplex. They like are in love with the slim, and it's not within their budget to add anything else.
okay. So you think they might join? Is this these people you're thinking they might?
Yeah, she's actually she's in another network marketing company, and she says she'll do it for me, you know, because she knows it's like it will help, you know, me as joins as an ambassador. She just won't get the welcome pack though.
Okay. I think, you know what, I mean, yeah, it still counts. To answer your question, we can still have that count. As long as they have the backup order on, and they can set up their backup order to be 2 bags of slim. That doesn't matter.
So at least their backup orders on, and they have over 100 PV.
Yeah. Yeah, at the end of the month, we want them to have 100 PV. So they would need to order something, you know, or next month. But yeah, I think that's great. I mean, I've done that. Like, I have one that joined this month, and she was a customer first too, and she ended up with a double order somehow. So she has like 2 bags of slim. So she didn't need the welcome pack this month. And I was like, that's fine. So she just ordered and then ordered a probiotic, and she's turned off. But next month, my hope is that next month she'll be turned on and have an order, you know, or get her welcome pack, whatever. So yeah, that's, I mean, I think it's not worth haggling over. I mean, if you can get them to join, then do it, you know, you want to do it. So absolutely.
I think maybe for a next conversation, I am having trouble converting people from slim to triplex, especially the ones that did the 7-day trial. They know slim, and that's the one that costs the most. So that's the only one they're willing to do. And I'm having a hard, like, nobody's wanting to switch to a triplex, like, even though I've gone through it. So I think maybe I don't know if you could address it maybe like on the next call. Not today, but on how you've done it, and maybe like see maybe there's something missing in what I am saying to them that is not getting them to really see the value.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'd be happy to do that. So yeah, maybe I'll even make a little video about it, because that's definitely something that helps you guys, you know, because then they're ordering more. So that's going to help your PV and or as an ambassador, either one. And it helps their health more. I mean, I'm just so sold on it. In the beginning, I was like, oh, I don't know if everybody needs a triplex. And I thought the ones that thought everybody needed the triplex were a little bit crazy, frankly. I really did. But the more I've done this and the more people we've had, the more I've seen, no, it really is important for everybody, no matter how healthy they think they are. So, yeah, absolutely. All right, I'm going to stop the recording, and I just want to thank everyone for coming. So, let's get 3 and get a nail salon certificate.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!